Hello everyone. This is a group interview done by Jess, me, Jonathan, Seb, and Nirshan. The interview is regarding the perspectives of hospitality. Our interviewees are Peter, the owner of Hawker Boys at Hardware Lane and has 2 years of experience in hospitality. Rayon, currently a student at William Anglis Institute and has 2 years of experience in hospitality. Stephen, former food and beverage attendant in CE operations at Sofitel Melbourne on Collins. Mai, currently a student at RMIT, manager of a Japanese restaurant at South Yarra and has 7 years of experience in hospitality. Pei, food and beverage attendant at the Atlantic Group and has 2 years of experience in hospitality.
In this interview project, we decided to give the interviewees a couple of questions regarding the perspective of hospitality. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
So, in your opinion, what is the meaning of hospitality?
For me, the definition of hospitality varies, as now hospitality exists everywhere and anywhere in our daily life, and that it has different purposes depending on where and how it occurs. But for a simple definition, I would say that it is how we accept and treat people and to make them feel at ease.
Sweet.
So hospitality for me is being hospitable to your guests. It's almost like wherever you work, whatever your restaurant is, bar, whatever it is, you treat your guests hospitably. And that's what it is for me.
The hospitality is like a process of making people happy or comfortable, making guests, strangers or guests, make them feel welcome while they stay. It's actually not about hotel and restaurant. It's more like it can be broadened to like hospital, bar and spas, any place that you can enjoy the service, and the host can give the guests the best so they can enjoy their stay.
Hospitality is a desire to provide a service including food and beverage and accommodation. The hospitality industry is much broader than most other industries. All the businesses are focused on customer satisfaction and meeting leisurely needs rather than basic ones.
Hospitality is a sector which has been developing from time to time. What are your thoughts on this matter?
It has, because the hospitality industry is rapidly changing due to technology and how restaurants have to market themselves to customers and clients. Like, it's very difficult where the hospitality industry is becoming so saturated now, where in order for people to know that you're open, you have to market through social media or other ways, compared to back then where it would just be like a newspaper article or just like word of mouth. It's more using the internet now to promote yourself in the market, because it's rapidly changing with technology. And the way people hear about new restaurants and stuff now, it's not through TV anymore. Everyone just goes to the internet now.
Yeah.
Which I think that it plays it's a really big impact on how we run business nowadays, where for us, we have a social media manager who runs all our social media. People use the internet more than ever now. Not many people watch TV as compared to back then.
So like you can attract more customers by social media, yeah?
Yes,
like
you attract a
Facebook
wider
or...
range of customers, and you can also target the demographic you want to target through sponsored posts through Facebook, where it allows you to attract a specific segment where you can modify your target market what you want.
Hospitality has developed rapidly, especially in this generation where technology innovation is growing competitively, and that it could enhance hospitality experience that never existed within the past. For example, now technology such as AI could help boost customers' experience, as they are programmed to be hospitable at most by the way they communicate. And I could see that this will keep on developing with more to offer in the future, as this is an industry where its operations can't be fully replaced by technology.
Technologically, I suppose, technology is used to make it more efficient, much quicker and easier. We use point of sale systems and send messages to each other through those systems, to the kitchen, to other departments, to the bar, whatever it may be. It's about efficiency and getting the job done as quick and efficient as possible.
Yeah.
Hospitality has changed, drastically during the past decade, especially in the digital era.
Yeah.
Because the emergence of innovative technology has helped the hospitality industry in so many ways.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, I have to say the role of social media platforms has enabled all managers and all the hospitality industry to have a closer connection with customers.
Yeah.
For example, in my case, I wake up every day and I have to keep track with all the reviews and feedback from customer. And I have to check it on social media channels, like every single social media channels of the restaurant and the website as well. So there is there is a lot of benefits that we can get from the the technologies nowadays. I think that's the most changing aspect I can see from the hospitality industry.
Thank you.
Well, nowadays the availability of internet marketing has led to increased competition and has created pressure on the price. Customers have come to expect more service and amenities at lower costs, and this offering can often make the difference. Besides that, as the technology and internet become more and more part of our society, it becomes more complicated to operate the business. There is a need for third-party operator and good franchise because societies will continue to change in what people want. The hospitality industry will also continue to change. In short, hospitality has been around for 1,000 years. It will continue to be around for another 1,000 years.
Do you think being hospitable and hospitality service are different from each other?
Really similar.
So
In terms of you're still serving someone for, in return you're gaining money or in exchange for something else.
yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, I think being hospital and being hospitality service, you're still doing something in exchange for something else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
So you're doing a job to get paid, like where you're providing a service to someone for them to, in that exchange, giving you money or something, paying for the service.
How about like when the guests come to
Yeah.
your house? Is it hospitality or is it hospitable?
Hospitable, because it's like an invitation to treat. You know what I mean? Like, whereas a restaurant, you come in, you expect service, hospitality service, but you have to pay for it. But if you're on your own home, it's an invitation for your friends or family or something, which you don't expect them to pay.
When it comes to business context, I would say that being hospitable is more of a natural way of how someone treats someone from how they were taught by their culture since a young age. While service is not always natural, as we know emotional labor exists in the industry where employees have to act in a specific behavior to obtain customer satisfaction.
Being hospitable is one thing, and giving service, hospitality service, it depends on the philosophy of where you work. Hospitality really is connecting with your guest and providing them, understanding what they expect and providing that to them. So it's hard to be able to say exactly this is what everyone wants. You need to listen to the guest, the customer, and try to determine what that is. And it's about being real too. It's not about being fake, about like this is what I have to ask everyone and this is how I have to act. It's about there's a level of realness to it that everyone should try to uphold.
How do you show hospitality to your guests in your culture, and what is the importance of it?
We live in a multicultural society, like, and people are open, like, they try new stuff, you know what I mean? Like, the cultural backgrounds, a lot of Westerners try Asian food, a lot of Asians try Western foods. Like, we're in a country where we're able to embrace different cultures.
I would say that every islands in Indonesia have different ways of treating their guests, as Indonesia is an archipelago which consists of different cultures. And I believe that different culture has their own way of treating their guests.
General, in Melbourne, I particularly think that the expansion of cultural diversity is the biggest problem right now, especially in the workforce, where a lot of migrants from other cultures come here, enjoy our workforce. I think it includes a lot of disadvantage, like communication barriers, work ethics, hierarchy, time, communication style, etc. etc. For example, the different languages make communication between employees harder, and it results in the lack of teamwork and confusion a lot. Not only with the teammates, but also with the customer as well. So
Problems might happen when people from different cultural backgrounds misunderstand each other, which result not only from language barriers, but it's also due to cultural difference. Thus, it's important not only to speak the foreigner language, but also be aware of cultural difference, which is it in different cultures. About the gender, I think women are more likely to express empathy, pleasantness, and helpness to a greater extent than male co-workers.
Well, I'm an Australian. I've worked in an Italian restaurant. I've worked in a French luxury hotel. I suppose I've only ever worked in Australia. It's just about being genuine. It's just about being genuine, really. That's all I can really... That's the philosophy I've always held on to, being genuine.
What do you think about the challenge the hospitality industry face regarding gender difference?
More male chefs than female. Like, you said that the women have better, like, communication skills and stuff.
I think so as well.
Yeah, like they're able to socialize better with a customer compared to males, which may come like across as a bit more aggressive or a bit more like straightforward than females, where I feel like they bring more warmth to the customer, where they communicate and what they're trying to say more fluently and in a softer manner, so they feel more invited, like the customer, compared to when a male is taking an order.
I think the conflicts in regard to gender differences still exist in today's present, as some employers still do believe that some jobs are not suitable to be performed by a certain gender, such as a front of house is suitable for girls only, as people still think that they are more hospitable than boys could be, which could be a bias. Unless the job itself requires a bona fide requirement, then it could be tolerated.
There are employees that will employ females more so than males. And then through my discussing this issue with other people in the industry, I've heard about males being hired over females more so. And people being, and it's more than just gender, it's certain people are hired for their looks, how they present themselves, their ability to speak English or communicate with their guests. So I wouldn't say there's much inequality, but it certainly is there to some extent.
Problems might happen when people from different cultural backgrounds misunderstand each other, which result not only from language barriers, but it's also due to cultural difference. Thus, it's important not only to speak the foreigner language, but also be aware of cultural difference, which exists in different cultures. About the gender, I think women are more likely to express empathy, pleasantness, and helpness to a greater extent than male coworkers.
Do you think it's a challenge to have a mixed culture team in a hospitality organization?
It can be. It can be. I suppose communication-wise, and communication is key in working together with people. So that can be language difference can be a hurdle in some respects. But as long as the philosophy of why we are, what the most important thing is in why we are working here and what our job is, as long as we all understand that and are able to communicate efficiently with each other, and therefore being able to provide the best service we can, then being on that same page is what's most important.
So after answer the question, so in your opinion, how do you think how can we overcome the challenges?
Throwing employees in the deep end doesn't help. It's these things should be discussed very early, not just in the hiring stage. The employee should be expressing what's expected and what the philosophy of the business is and all of that. But clear briefings on whatever we may be doing. It may be in a cocktail party, or it may be bar work or a restaurant. It needs to be discussed before the event takes place, so everyone's on the same page and understands their role, and so that we don't have to have these problems arise at the time during the event and then everything collapses.
Oh, well, in my case, there are many ways that help appropriately manage the diversity in the industry, like in the restaurant. I myself have to create a very high standards when recruiting new employees, like their English skills, their teamwork skills, and there are rules in the restaurant that you cannot speak any language other than English. Like you have to make English the first language in our home, in our restaurant. So that is very important that everyone feel the same like that. And we also have a lot of team building or staff trainings and lots of activities that can create a closer relationship
That's
between
really
the staff.
interesting.
I think that I think if we manage well, cultural diversity will benefit the restaurant a lot.
Think, understand, and accept this cultural difference and take more personalized approach. Besides that, learn knowledge of cultural difference and develop skill of managing culture diversity issues.
You got to adapt to change anyway, so yeah.
After conducting these interviews, we asked each other in our groups regarding what they thought about the perspective of hospitality.
Based on our research, hospitality varies in terms of culture, gender, language, and skill. During our interview and our interviewee answer, there are some specific aspects in hospitality industry, such as culture, gender, technology, and language. There are a couple of problems that disrupt the process of service. One of them is language differences.
First of all, language plays an important role in hospitality industry. To communication effectively, not only the relationship between staff and employers, but also disrupt their communication between the staff and the guests. They need to communicate effectively to understand their needs and their demands, so it helps their work more easily to do.
Secondly, regarding gender aspects, it's equal between men and women in hospitality. Compared to last few years, there are more men in higher position in restaurants or resorts than women, because now it changes. Women also plays an important part in hospitality organizations systems because of their skills. Raffaelli stated that the customer preferred the waitress than waiter because the waitress have good communication skills and their customer service.
Thirdly, technology has made a major difference for the hospitality industry with time. Marketing, advertising, sales, etc. Technology makes the world a smaller place, hence connecting each and everyone. Gittins specially mentioned in his work that there are many advantages in using technology for the development of a venue.
Finally, is the diversity. The manager should embrace the value of the diversity, which helps employees to work collaboratively and in turn to be more productive. In short, working in the culturally diverse environment is an exciting opportunity to learn, grow, and develop a better understanding of the world we live in today.
Hey guys, so thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed the video.